The Mayo Peace Park Garden of Remembrance commemorates the men and women of County Mayo killed in the world wars of the last century with the Allied and Commonwealth forces. It especially remembers all those Mayo-born Irish Army soldiers who served and died on UN operations.
The Mayo Peace Park Garden of Remembrance, it's a memorial to remember all the men and women, indeed, who died overseas, people who were forgotten in history. My grandfather, Patrick Feeney, died on the 22nd of July 1915. He wasn't commemorated here in Ireland. He's buried in France. And I, as a person, a local person, always wanted to have some kind of memorial for people like him who served and died in the World Wars. This park was opened on the 7th of October in 2008 by President Mary McAleese. And it was a wonderful day here with the Irish Army. There was a 100-strong Guard of Honour from Dún Muelisa in Galway. And the Irish Army band were here. Lots of ambassadors, lots of dignitaries, lots of politicians, but most of all, lots of people from County Mayo here to remember their fallen war dead, people who had previously not been remembered. And that's really what this park is about. And it's so great nowadays, to see so many tourists and regimental associations and people coming here to visit and to pay respect and their reads and remember their family members who died.
Well, I'm privileged to be in the Mayo Peace Park in Castlebar, County Mayo, and what is a lovely spring's morning. And it's a wonderful achievement. The man behind it is Michael Feeney, MBE, whose grandfather Patrick lost his life in France in the First World War. And this is a wonderful amenity. It attracts people from all over the world. And because I'm retired, I spend a lot of time here and I meet people from England, America, France, Canada. And it's and it, right behind us is the Roll of Honour, and in front of us as well, of many brave Mayo men and women who lost their lives fighting in the cause of freedom and fighting in the cause of democracy in different wars. So we're really privileged to have such a wonderful amenity in Castlebar. And it's well cared for, well looked after, and as I said, attracts visitors from all over the world. And you know, it's a most interesting place to visit. You know, you see people from all over Mayo, from big towns to little villages, from Westport, Castlebar, Ballina, Ballycry. Virtually every little village in Mayo had someone who was sadly killed in the First World War, fighting in the cause of freedom. And it's only right that they should be honoured and respected in their native place. And this is a wonderful way of honouring them. And it reminds people of the great sacrifices that was made by those people, very, very brave people, under the most horrendous and difficult circumstances and conditions. So look, it's a great, wonderful amenity. And as a Castlebar man, I'm very proud to stand here this morning and take this opportunity to pay tribute to those brave men and women.
My name is Michael Feeney. I'm over from Nottingham to honour my uncle Patrick Feeney, who died in the war in 1916. And it's a pleasure to be here, along with my son Gerard, for this special occasion.
As you can see behind me over my left shoulder, there's a wall dedicated to the memory of nearly 1,200 Irish soldiers who died in World War I. 50,000 Irishmen were killed on the battlefields of World War I, and in what is now the Republic of Ireland, their name couldn't be mentioned until the late 1990s. When Michael Feeney came along in 1999 and decided to put up this Peace Park, I was so delighted. I was very happy to come on board, and now it is miraculous. Every other county in the country is following suit, putting up monuments to their local dead, and this is continuing and continuing, and it's a wonderful thing to see. And God bless those soldiers who did fight for what they believed in, who did fight for home rule. They're entitled to the same respect to those who support the 1916 rebellion and the respect they get as a result.
I've been involved with many United Nations missions overseas, and I've served in different countries over the years. When the Peace Park was being instigated here in Castlebar, one of the memorials that we put into it was in relation to the Mayo people who died on United Nations service, and we have a special memorial to the 2 Irish soldiers who died here. And I suppose when we looked at the Peace Park, we looked at the various Irish people who had died over the years between World War I, between World War II, between the Korean War, and that we look at the Irish regiments. We found it fitting and appropriate that the United Nations should be commemorated in this way.
On this wall here behind me that you're looking at, there are the names of over 1,180 Mayo men and women who died in World War I. And on the World War II memorial over on the other side, there's over 80 names of Mayo men who died in World War II. We also have Vietnam memorials, Korean War memorials, Spanish Civil War memorials, and the last person that was remembered here was a young man from Westport, Robert McKibben, who died in Afghanistan. All those people, both civilian and military, that died in those world wars and the foreign conflicts, they're all remembered in this park. It's a place we're proud of in County Mayo. It's a wonderful thing in Ireland to have such a place that you don't have to be travelling to France and Belgium and the battlefields of Europe. We can now commemorate our fallen, our own Mayo fallen, people from our county in our own town, in our own county. It's lovely to have it, and we're proud to have it in our county.